are going to get into it. So, last session, you all started off in Antara, and you were waiting for Morgan to finish the second draft of the contract, which you all then accepted and started your journey through the wastelands to the town of Woodhurst. On your way there, you came across some poachers who were transporting a live troll. A battle ensued with all of you getting the drop on them and then summarily defeating them. We see like a clip of Folly using her divine magic to cage a poacher. Then we see Harvey gracefully spinning through the battlefield to help free a troll. And then we cut to him almost getting smashed by a troll, only to have the attack miss thanks to Folly's god's divine intervention. We then see like Danni turn into a huge scorpion and attack a poacher, sending their stinger right through the poacher's eye. And then we see like a few quick cuts of Betty and Bleu working together, shooting and biting a couple of different poachers. When the battle finally calms down, Folly releases Willowfang, the poacher they magically caged. The poacher you recognized as Willowfang was one of that you previously encountered when you rescued the griffin a while back. And before the poacher, now freed from the cage, could attack Folly, Betty shoots him in the face. Not killing him, but it's a little gruesome. But Danni then uses their earworm wax candle to get some info about the town to which you all are traveling. After gaining some info as well as a list of poachers this guy knows, Betty and Bleu finish him off after some arguing about what to do with him. So now, with this session, we're going to start off with you all standing in the muddy road, Tusk and his companion Vabara standing with all of you. These two are the ones who kind of came in and helped you fend off or fight off the troll poachers. Tusk kind of walks up. I think he's gonna walk up to Eliot. Oh, he's gonna walk up to. Made my mistake. He's gonna walk up to Folly, and he's gonna say, "Well met. I was wondering if I was ever gonna see you all again. Thanks for helping us take down those poachers. I know we kind of had this scene a little bit, but we're just gonna kind of go over it again."
Yeah, and I think I believe I stated at the end of last session I was going to take a moment to dedicate this victory to Ash to take advantage of my new move Reaper. So I think Folly is still a little bit a ways away from the rest of the group.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that makes sense. Was Tusk was the one who had the P carved into their forehead, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah. I think Folly is gonna kind of is gonna look at Tusk and ask, how's that scar of yours healing?
It healed cleanly. Thank you. I appreciated your help at the last time that we met. I know that the last time that we met, it wasn't, on the same side, but I'm glad.
Exactly. No.
Yeah. What are you all doing out here? This is a pretty barren, wasteland. I wasn't expecting to see any travelers on the road.
Well, is it? I mean, I suppose we could ask you the same thing. Is this what you do now? You hunt, not to put too fine a point on it. You poach the poachers.
He kind of smirks and he says, "That's you hit the nail on the head." I realized that after our encounter, I feel like not to say it explicitly, but I had a change of heart. I did a lot of thinking about it, and I realized that what I was doing was wrong, which I also came to the conclusion with my new partner Vabara, who had a similar experience that I did. And so now we go around taking care of these poachers who are doing these cruel acts to these creatures.
Yeah, I think Folly kind of nods along with that, and Folly's going to glance over at the rest of the party. Are the other three still kind of dealing with Willowfang right now?
I think
Or
at
has that
this
already
yeah, I think at
happened?
this point we can just like Willowfang has been taken care of like off screen and
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Folly's going to turn back to Tusk. We have some business in the village of Woodhurst. Are you at all familiar?
yes. I'm vaguely familiar. I know that it's
Vaguely.
nearby. Um, we've skirted the village. We've heard some weird rumors about it, and
What kind of rumors?
it sounds like Woodhurst has become like a cult town. Um, they are very, I don't know how to say it, like they're very insular. They're a little wary about newcomers and travelers. They seem nice enough and like they just give us a weird vibe. Anytime we get close to the town, it just they're nice enough, but they're definitely not open. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think yeah. Folly's gonna nod along to that. Well, that's about as much as we've heard. That there's a cult there. That they're a little closed off to outsiders. But any anything else you've experienced with them? Any particular people that you've noticed?
Hmm. Tusk thinks for a moment,
Mhm.
and he says, "I think the only piece of like he's like I think the leader of this cult, their name is Sandra. I don't know much about them, but if you get in town, you should check out or ask around for Sandra."
Okay, yeah. I think Folly's gonna I think kind of like awkwardly try to like clap Tusk on the shoulder as kind of a like, good job, buddy. But it's well, thank you. I'm glad to know that someone at least maybe learned a lesson
uh,
from our
t-
previous encounter.
I
Let
got
us
a
let
question.
yeah.
Um, I think at this point, Danny has probably been like scribbling for a little second, like off to the side on a piece of paper. It was like, Tusk, I recently acquired this, for lack of a better term, I'm gonna call it a side quest. But we don't have a lot of time here to go hunting down poachers. I do have this list of known poachers and their last known locations, and I made a copy. I have one for me, and I have one that I could give to a friend. And I like to think after everything we've been through that I can consider you a friend, you know?
Tusk nods his head and he's like, "I would absolutely appreciate uh, such a list." Um,
Good thinking.
I have that list for you, by the way. If you want to
Oh,
see
Ooh,
you
it,
do?
yeah.
how long is it?
It's 5 people.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This guy didn't get around all that much.
Who is it?
Uh, Here I'm gonna drop it. Let's see, where should I drop it? Do you have access to Discord right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll drop it in the Discord. Podcast.
I'm gonna keep it in case we come across these guys, but right now I just don't think we have time to pursue it.
Yeah, you'll see that that's probably a good idea. So I dropped the list of poachers in Discord.
Thank you. It's great.
Yeah, so Tusk takes the list from you, thanks you profusely. He's like, "I will." You said you guys. Oh wait, did you guys say this? No, you haven't said. where can I find you guys? Where are you operating from? From what city?
Operating from?
What city do you guys live in, or like are you guys staying?
What's it called again, Devon?
Antara.
Antara, right. Okay. I'm just gonna say, look us up if you're ever in Antara.
Tusk nods again. I will do. Hopefully, the next time I see you guys, this list will be a little bit shorter.
Hell yeah,
Before you,
Tusk.
Yeah, thanks.
before you go there,
Uh,
I just had a quick follow-up question for you.
yeah. What's up?
You said the people in the town were a little bit cagey, not super open to outsiders.
In a weird, subtle way. We've stayed there for one day, to resupply, and they were nice enough and seemed friendly, but there was a weird sense, a very there was a weird wall that they had up, like you were the outsider and they were the insiders, and they also a little pushy on their religion.
So you were allowed in the town, no problem there. They didn't have like a wall with like guards. They were keeping you out.
No, nothing like that. They did have an escort follow us around.
Sort of
Okay.
a there is no war in Bossing Say kind of vibe.
Anywhere in the town that they didn't let you go, that you weren't allowed to go to?
He thinks for a moment. He says, "Not that I can recall, but honestly, we weren't looking around. So
Yeah, Fly speaks up again. You said they're pushing on their religion, so they're looking for converts.
yes, exactly.
Gross.
Okay, yeah, Folly kind of frowns at that. Go on, I'll bring up what I'm thinking about later.
This town ain't big enough for 4 gods.
Did you have something to say, Folly?
No, I was. I mean, I don't think Folly would be saying this in character, but I guess out of character, I was thinking maybe a way to approach the village would be to pretend that we are willing to convert or interested in converting to their faith. But I don't think Folly would necessarily be saying that to Tusk right now.
Okay.
We were also talking about dressing up like the poachers. I'm just gonna ask him. Do poachers get good treatment when they go to this town? Do you know anything about that?
From no, well, not that I don't know. Tusk thinks, and he's like, I don't know. These poachers didn't come from Woodhurst. They were going to a different city.
It might be risky because poachers aren't liked in a lot of places. Maybe we just go as ourselves. Well, not ourselves, but regular travelers.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want me to get confused. He says,
Yes.
jokingly.
Although I do believe a disguise of some kind would be a good idea.
Yeah,
Right.
some of us are a little memorable looking.
Yeah.
Folly is going to look at Harvey.
Before you guys start
armor.
discussing your tactic for entering Woodhurst, I think Tusk is going to collect his companion Vabara, and they're going to bid you all farewell, and I think they're gonna ride off. I think they like move the bodies off to the side of the road, but they're not taking the bodies. I don't think there's any bounties on the poachers, so they just kind of clear the path, and then they take off. And so now this kind of all happened in the middle of your journey to Woodhurst. You still have about like 2 days left, which are going to happen uneventfully. But during that time, I think, Harvey, you said that you leveled up.
I did.
Yeah, so if anyone else leveled up at the end of last session, you can go ahead and take the level up move now, since you guys have a little bit of time. But I think it was only Harvey who leveled up. Is that correct?
I
Okay.
guess so.
Cool.
What level are you?
7.
Yeah, so I think we had a couple pretty dialogue heavy sessions in the Dragon City arc
Mm.
because I just leveled up last episode.
To level 7.
Basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember if I leveled up last episode or not?
I thought you might have.
Yeah, I feel
Okay.
like you hit level 8.
Yeah, I'm at
Mhm.
level 8 now, but I don't know if I took the moves. I think I did though.
The easiest way is you should just look at your there's a couple moves that you get at level 1, right? That are like already marked off. Any
Yeah.
other moves that you have ticked off will tell
Oh,
you how much
okay.
you have. So you should have 7 if you're at level 8.
Yeah,
I have
leveled
6
up,
because I'm at level 7.
so I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, nice. So Harvey, what level up move did you take?
I took the fighter level up move, multi-class dabbler.
Nice,
I
nice.
think.
Yeah, I think that's
I
right.
think
That's the second one, right? Like the,
Mhm.
I think.
I have dabbler and initiate now.
Okay, doesn't matter. You're taking the second one. Nice.
And I took the immolator move, watch the world burn.
Ooh, what does that do?
When you open a channel to the burning plains and call a firestorm, tell the GM what you're sacrificing and roll plus wisdom. The sky opens up and fire pours like rain from it within an area about equal to a small village.
Oh my.
Yes.
That's
And we already talked about it a little bit,
Mhm.
but yeah, I'm going to flavor it slightly differently.
Yeah, flavor's fine as long as the mechanics are the same.
My favorite thing about it is you can't fail.
No,
It always happens.
It just kind of happens, right? As long as you make a sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, like you can, strictly speaking, you can absolutely fail. It's just something cruel, intelligent, and hungry comes with the storm.
Oh, well, see, that's something you didn't mention earlier. But that sounds exciting. That sounds like I could get so you have to roll for that then, right? Like you roll
Yeah.
you
I
make
roll
it-
plus wisdom,
Okay, yeah. So you make a sacrifice, you roll for it, and
and
then
my wisdom's a 0.
perfect. We should hopefully get a lot of fun out of that move then.
Fantastic. You'll have to
I-
see it.
I hope to fail. I want to see what hungry, intelligent thing comes from with the storm.
Oh, jeez.
It's
There-
like watching a monster movie where you're just like, just show me the damn thing. Do
it.
Do it, you cowards.
Show me the guy that's on the poster.
Nothing quite like a party
Mhm.
where 50% of the members are like tied in some way to a dark and unspeakable god.
Yeah, seriously. Very cool. Okay. That's awesome. And then you also took your stat upgrades, right?
Yeah, I maxed out Constitution.
Excellent. Oh, Harvey's such a beefy boy.
Oh, yeah, so just so we're clear, Dexterity and Constitution, both 18 plus 3.
God,
Everything else is a plus 0 or minus 1.
I mean, Harvey's he specializes, you know. Harvey's
Plays to
good
his strengths.
at a few things.
I don't think
Very
I've put my
focused.
I don't think I've put my points into anything but Constitution since this started because I've been trying to get my HP as high as like at the ceiling.
Mm.
Well, I think you're hitting it.
I'm pretty sure I hit it.
All right. So, now that Harvey is all leveled up, did any of you take harm during that last battle? Because I think if you did, you're able to.
Like 2 points of harm.
Yeah, go ahead and heal yourself up since we.
Can I get rid of weak?
Yes, because you all got rations because Betty
Yes.
scrounged the rations off of the dead poachers.
Good shit, Betty.
So, you all spend the next couple of days traveling, and on the, I don't know, let's say like the third day, or like the night of the second day of traveling, you're able to like see the village off in the distance, but you take one more night to camp. So then the following morning, you're able to get to Woodhurst, and the village is a pretty large village. It's like right on the verge of like what you would consider a town. It's like this village. It's the bulk of it is actually walled, but there's still some abodes that are outside of the wall. There's some farming houses. This village is on the edge of a lake, so there's a bit of a port for their citizens to go out fishing. But yeah, it's the thing that kind of like shocks you the most is it's like strangely idyllic for the wastelands. It seems way too peaceful, way too like thriving for what you've seen in the wastelands before, and especially for you, Danni. Like, this is nothing like Victor's Prize. This is like a healthy village. There's still like a fog that kind of is here, but it's like less ominous and less like, I don't know. There's less of a pressure that you guys have felt while traveling through the wastelands. And when you guys kind of make it to the, what is it called, the entrance of the village, there aren't like they're not like armored guards, right? Like they're not like in full plate armor that are standing there at the entrance, but there are definitely a couple people in robes, and one of them approaches you. This kind of older gentleman walks up and approaches you with a beaming smile, and did that? Oh, yep. He introduces himself, and he goes, "Welcome, travelers. Welcome to Woodhurst. My name is Beldrin. Will you be staying with us for a time?"
Could I flash back just a couple of minutes?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Before we-
I forgot that you guys wanted to discuss some tactics, right? So we're gonna pause here. We'll flash back real quick because I forgot to let you guys talk about how you wanted to approach the village. So yeah,
You said there's people outside the gates, right? And the gates appear to be the only way in.
yes.
Okay.
As far like that's the most obvious way in. Like every city has got its sneaky ways in, right? Every town, every village.
Yeah, okay. I think my plan, and I'm gonna tell the team, like my plan before we get in is to transform into like a rat or a cockroach and just hide in our stuff somewhere. Do we have the wagon with us? Or we just have donkeys?
You definitely have your donkeys. I don't know if you took your wagon. I don't recall that being one of the things that you guys brought, but
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna transform into a roach then and hide in somebody's bag. I don't want this guy to know that I'm part of the group because I'm
Okay.
hoping at some point, like, since Tusk said he had a escort the whole time he was here, I'm hoping at some point I can peel off and get away from the escort.
Ooh,
and
good
commit identity
thinking.
theft.
Yeah, exactly.
Hide in my armor. I'm used to having bugs in it.
that's gross.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm
not the
doing
part of Danni hiding there, but the fact that you're used to bugs in your armor.
Remember, he just lived in the forest for like a solid year before finding work here on the surface.
That's true.
Oh,
That's true.
man.
I still don't
Okay,
like it.
can you remind me real quick? Do we roll 2d6 or is it only 2 when we have advantage?
It's 2d6 and it's 3 when you have advantage.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna roll to transform.
Excellent.
That's,
3, and you take the 2 highest.
Yeah.
That's a 9 to transform, so that means I get 2 holds. So I
Okay.
just turn into the bug and I crawl into Harvey's uniform.
Great. Excellent. How does it feel being in Harvey's armor?
Zach, is it stinky in there?
No, actually. It is a very sterile environment.
Interesting.
Don't forget,
Hmm.
Harvey
Okay.
Cannon smells like petrichor. He
Mhm.
smells like
Right.
wet earth, or he smells like earth right before it rains.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
it sounds kinda
all you can
pleasant almost.
smell is the smell of wet earth.
Oh, I love that as a roach. I'm like nestling in there. It's warm, it's dark, it smells like earth. I'm thriving.
You're kind of digging it. Okay, that's excellent.
Mhm.
Okay.
While we're going over the plan, we're
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna just say, like, while we're like around a fire or something, and Danny's going over what they're gonna do, I'm gonna kind of poke the fire a little bit and say, I would also like to discuss before we go in there. I know things got a little bit tense back there with the poachers. I made a decision. You know, the last time we talked about what we were going to do with someone, Zarui Lee cast a spell on me and held me for the entire fight, and then summoned a man made out of shadow that could pierce Harvey's impenetrable armor. Right? Before we go in, I just want to know, right? I only got one rule really when it comes to killing there, right? Who are we okay with getting rid of so nobody gets? I just want to know. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page there.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that I necessarily thought that man or that elf deserved to live. Just from my perspective, it was a harsher punishment to let him live. So I'm not too concerned about who we're saving and who we're not. Yeah, I was just in that particular instance when an elf who has wronged us is begging us to just kill him. I was like, well, I'm not gonna. No. If he wants it, why would I give it to him?
So if I want to take it into my hands to get rid of a threat, no one's going to stop me?
Unless it's my brother. His blood
Noted.
is mine.
Two exceptions on the list there. Before. Oh, were you going to say anything?
Yeah, I think, I mean, Folly wasn't there for a lot of the whole Willow thing conversation, but Folly's going to speak up at this point. It's like, well, I wasn't happy about the fact that we had to kill Zaruli. It would have been, I think, let's maybe try to avoid it as often as possible. That was obviously a situation where if he had lived, it would have been very bad for us. You know, I know you, I'll just say you've had very different life experiences than I have, Betty. And I understand that you may make some choices that I would not make. And I would like to say that I trust your judgment, but let's not create any more bodies than we need to, huh?
Yeah, no, I don't enjoy getting rid of people. I don't think anybody.
Folly looks doubtful.
Yeah, I mean, does anybody love it when? I mean, maybe Danny does, but you know, I don't think most people love when they have to kill when they find a pest in their house, right? They don't kill it because they enjoy killing it. They kill it because they're like, I gotta get rid of it, right? I don't enjoy it. It's just something that you need to do. But if nobody has a problem with it, aside from Harvey's brother, that's all I wanted to know. And I don't know. I've had these prepared for you know, maybe about a week now, since before we went to the Dragon City. We talked about before we went and we had all that business on Amos about maybe becoming, more than just a bunch of independent contractors. So if we're still interested, and then Betty's gonna pull out like a patch for Danni, and then for Folly, it's like a little it's not, I don't think it's technically a brooch, but like the thing that you
Little
use
pin.
to like keep your cloak secured. And then I have a little, I think it's called like a basicue or a besicue for Harvey. It's
How is-
basically like a little circle that protects like the armpit. Yeah, it's called a
Oh.
besicue. But they all have a little picture of a Pegasus skull with some wings next to it, and then like a little phrase in this world's equivalent of like Latin.
Nice.
What does it say?
It says Socii Anti-Signa, which translates like loosely to like comrades over countries or bonds over banners.
I love it.
Ah, that's so cute.
Yeah, no, that's
Unfortunately, I'm
great.
a cockroach right now, but I think Harvey would hold my patch.
Oh no, this is around the campfire.
Are we
Not a
flashing
cock-
back even further before?
No,
I
no,
become
no.
a cockroach?
We were having the conversation about you becoming this. I feel like this is all in montage, right? Where it's like donkeys are moving, and then we're like going back to like the campfire, and then we're like meeting the guy, and you're like, I'm gonna be a cockroach, and then I'm like, are we allowed to kill people?
Do you say that I become a cockroach? Because I do have opinions, but I've been not saying anything because I'm a cockroach.
Oh no, I said I was doing all of this. I wanted to do all of this while we were having our discussion about what was going on.
So prior
this
to
is-
you being a cockroach.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
you can ask any questions. So like as I give you the patch.
Okay, my opinion is, kill whoever you want, except for people I know. We're in the place I came from now, so there's a chance we could run across people I know. I'm pretty well known in certain cities around here. So,
I promise if I know that you know them, I won't get rid of them unless you tell me to. But if you're separated from us as a cockroach and I have no idea, I'll apologize in advance there. If one of them says that they're going to kill Harvey, or they're going to kill me, or they're going to kill Folly, I'll get rid of them. But if I know that they know you, if they say your name, I'll keep it off limits.
well, there's an easy way to know. And I'm gonna hold up my arm and you'll see the MAL where I started to write the word malicious.
Mhm.
Everyone in my crew played this game and we all committed the M together. So the
Ooh. Ooh, interesting.
Okay.
The plot thickens.
if they don't have an M on their left forearm, you're good.
No kids, no
Oh, yeah.
M's, and no Harvey's brother.
No brothers. Yeah.
You're welcome to fight my brother, but
No kidding.
I'm gonna be the one who watches the light drain from his eyes.
I love the way that you said that, and it makes me feel real good about your mental health.
I think everyone's mental health in this game is on point.
Really good.
We're all so well adjusted.
Betty
okay.
is incredibly well adjusted.
Yeah.
Betty has Betty does not have any problem sleeping, no
Uh-huh.
insomnia, no anxiety.
No, none. I haven't seen any.
Yeah.
That's what I just said. We're all incredibly well adjusted.
Yeah.
I don't see
We're
what you're
people.
refuting here.
Okay. So I just want to.
Anyway,
Oh, go ahead.
out of character, maybe in character, other than Danni being a cockroach, what is our approach here? Are we pretending to be travelers or something?
I mean, does Folly ever pitch the idea of us
Mhm.
pretending to be converts?
Yeah, I mean, I think like, I guess thinking about it, I mean, I think like, it doesn't seem super likely that we would have heard about this cult, like from, because it seems like this cult isn't super well known except by people who pass through this area. And correct me if I'm wrong, Devon, but I was thinking like maybe we pretend we're just traveling through and then pretend to be very like
It,
like Tusk said, these people are pretty pushy about their faith. We just pretend to be like very easily swayed by them.
Okay.
I don't know.
You
Yeah.
guys gotta play dumb for sure.
Okay, so maybe, yeah, so let's just
Mhm.
pretend like we're just stopping through for some
Mhm.
supplies.
We're traveling to like Victor's Prize or wherever.
Yeah.
Victor's Prize is the name of the town.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh,
I did-
and also, while we were around the campfire, I probably would have taken the time to study Folly and Harvey's essences.
Do you tell us that we're doing this?
Yeah,
Or
does any-
did you-
yeah, yeah, do
Yeah,
either
I
of you
think-
have an objection to Danny studying your essence to be able to turn into you?
Hmm.
This is the
Hmm.
kind of thing you really need consent for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you should
Mhm.
really have consent for.
Yeah, I feel like when you ask Harvey, it's just why. His helm was probably up. He was probably munching on something, and he immediately just shuts it.
Oh man,
Just
Uh,
why?
I can foresee a situation where I may need to pretend to be one of you,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and that would be helpful.
Like
Like,
for
Folly's
like a-
going to look at the MAL on your arm and say, "You're not trying to steal our identity, are you?"
No, it doesn't count if you do it to your comrades.
say for example, Harvey needs to get in somewhere. Harvey has a cockroach in his armor that can turn into Harvey. So all Harvey has to do, go into the bathroom there. Harvey comes out of the bathroom, goes on with the chauffeur. Harvey's still in the bathroom, waits for the chauffeur to leave, goes in, I don't know, maybe like breaks something, sets something on fire, whatever Harvey does. And then while they're all doing like they're studying the essence, I'm gonna be kind of like standing near them and like we're going over like the brief.
Wait, I don't
right?
have their consent yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think Folly is a little bit uncomfortable about it, but is like is convinced by Buddy's argument and is like, "Okay, you can study my essence, just don't like do anything weird, okay?"
I mean, you've already drank my blood. What's weirder than that?
Not that like, critically, that was not consensual.
I know. I learned my lesson. Remember, you didn't talk to me for like a week.
Yeah, it wasn't just I drank your blood; you drank mine as well. That was really weird.
Yeah, but now we do magic together. How cool is that?
And you study by essence, I guess.
I just thought of a situation where it could be useful. I turn into you guys, then I pretend to be dead. They take the body, roll it into the grave. You're still alive, walking around the city. Everybody thinks you're dead. See?
And you're buried in the ground.
Well, she can turn into a maggot, or they can turn into a
Yeah.
maggot.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd be okay.
I guess.
Mhm.
Okay. I
Cool,
know
cool, cool.
Betty has something else to say, but I have a follow up as you study their essence. But I don't know what Betty wants to say, so go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like while they're in like a triangle studying essences and stuff, I'm gonna be kind of like sitting nearby and say, so I was wondering if you could elaborate on this Folly, and like Folly like kind of turns to look at me and Danny's like, no, you have to look at me, and like snaps their face back.
Uh-huh.
We were told that this cult called themselves the Spokes of the Turning Wheel. I know that you're into Ash now, and I didn't really talk to you too much about Aster, but now we're dealing with people who are involved with Aster.
Well, I think like I don't know if like Danny. I imagine like Danny is like just like holding Folly's face or something while Folly is talking. Yeah. Well, I think Morgan thought they might be related to Aster. The wheel and kind of like the wheel that turns is a common phrase, a common image is associated with Aster. So it's likely, but it's not for certain. And I think that's one of the things he wants us to figure out, if they're Aster cultists or a different god.
Perfect. Okay. That's all Betty wanted to
Mhm.
check in on.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. And then I will. Okay, well, first I want to focus on this.
Mhm.
Harvey, Danny is studying your essence.
Hmm.
What 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 piece of, I don't know, what piece of yourself do they glean from you that you don't normally like reveal to others? And that question's going to go to you as well, Folly. Like, Danny's studying you both. What, like, little, it doesn't have to be anything big, just something like that you kind of normally hide from others, perhaps, that Danny finally kind of like perceives, which allows them to turn into you.
Mm. There, Harvey has a lot of shame.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
There's a reason he hides behind big old clunky armor.
Okay.
And that shame definitely stems from Benji killing his brother.
Cool. Not cool, but like that's interesting. And so Danny, you kind of like, as you're studying Harvey, you feel that like part of what makes Harvey Harvey is this sense of shame that he kind of holds on to and uses as like a motivation for going on and for why he fights.
Yeah.
And then Folly, what about you?
Mhm. Yeah, I think what Danny would sense is like Folly is kind of like feels like they are like almost like living a double life, like not like they're not like lying to any of the people here necessarily, but like Foley has not been telling like Foley has not been telling his family about what is going on here, has not told them about Ash, what is going on with Aster, and is kind of has this just sort of just like little sense in the back head of like, I'm going to have to explain this at some point, or I'm going to have to keep explaining what I'm doing to my parents when I get back. So there's a sense of like, this isn't a problem right now, but this is like something that is like kind of like weighing on their mind of like, I need to keep lying to the people to the people to the people I grew up with, and that's kind of
Not making you feel good.
yeah, not making me feel great. No.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So Danny, as you study, Folly's essence, you kind of like get this understanding that what Folly's doing isn't like what Folly normally does. Like, this is like really almost out of character, and there's like this like cognitive dissonance almost of what they're doing and why they're hiding this from their loved ones.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, but that's very interesting. But what, other than like Danny turning into a cockroach to kind of like sneak in essentially, are you all are gonna kind of approach this situation as if you're just travelers, um, and then you're gonna kind of like
Mhm.
play along with being converted into new members of this cult, right? I just want to make sure that
I think
I
so.
have an understanding of how you guys are approaching this situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Folly should oh, do you still have your symbol of Aster?
Nope, I left it with Zurui Lee when we killed him.
That was such a good
Wait.
moment, though. To be fair, that was such a good moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
have
think
an
Betty mentions that, and Folly like sort of reaches for it and is like, oh.
I have an idea, you guys. They're like
Yeah.
building this like idyllic town in the middle
Mhm.
of blasted wastelands, which like are notoriously blasted wastelands. And what if you guys pretend to be like refugees kind of from Victor's Prize? Like you lived in the city for a little bit, but you were just so upset by all the poverty and loss and corruption and famine that you were looking for something better. And that would make you extra vulnerable. And they'll be like, come into our circle, you know?
Hmm.
That's a good idea.
I
Like,
think
we could say that, like, oh, we heard about how good things were here.
Yeah.
I have never been to Victor's Prize, so I would be hesitant about saying that I'm from there in case people who are in this town are also from there. So if
Yeah.
Harvey or Folly know about it, but I do like the idea of being like we're not happy. So I'm probably
Hmm.
I am definitely going to do that, Danny. But I'm probably just going to be like, yeah, I'm from Antara. You know, if they ask, and then if they're like, what are you doing all the way out here? I'll be like, you know, just roaming. Antara's not great. I don't love it there.
Mhm.
It'd be nice if there was like somewhere better out there somewhere.
Yeah. It's,
Well, what about if instead of Victor's Prize, you guys just pretend you're from a smaller town that's nobody is from, and Danny would know the name of a town that nobody's from, you know? So you won't run into anybody from there, probably.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
That could work.
I'm down
yeah.
with that.
That seems like a solid game plan.
okay.
Like a hamlet that had like 5 people living in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unincorporated territory.
Yeah, because Antara's, it's not ideal, but it's nice.
yeah. I mean, it's a thriving city, right? It's definitely not like it's not Victor's Prize, right? Like it's a legit city.
Yeah, but it's full of sinners.
It is.
People who don't understand
it-
the faith.
But we
Ah.
don't know this cult. They could be a bunch of hedonists. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They could love
fair.
sin.
Could be getting
also
into
true.
some freaky stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, it could be like those people who are like, I couldn't keep living in the city. It's too dangerous. I want to go live in the countryside. I want to get back to sort of the weird trad people. who are like,
Yeah, and they're all like swingers or something.
If it's a cult, I feel like it's less that
Mhm.
they're swingers and all that they're having sex with the same person.
hmm,
One guy.
One guy.
Yeah.
this Sandra
One-
person.
Sandra.
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
right.
So after this like kind of like extended flashback, we kind of whoosh back to all of you in front and of the city gates. We see like this quick little shot of like Danni poking out their little cockroach face out of Harvey's armor.
My little antennae, like.
Yeah, I imagine you guys have squirts with you, and like maybe you just like have some extra bags on squirts just to like make it look
Yeah.
like it's a pack animal or something. Yeah. So Beldrin, the kind of older gentleman with graying hair. He looks to maybe be in his late 40s, early 50s. He approaches you and with a beaming smile, and he says, "Welcome, travelers. It's a lovely day. Are you guys planning on staying in our lovely village?"
Could be. I'll tell you right now. First of all, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day. You having a good day there?
I'm having a blessed day, ma'am.
Blessed
Well,
day.
I'm having a blessed day as well. I'm glad to hear that you're having a blessed day. I'll tell you, I'll tell you right now, I'm a little bit low on rations. I would love to get into your town there and just, if you could show me to the general store, I could restock on my rations. I might even have a cup of coffee there if there's a good place in town. I like it with 2 sugars because I like my coffee sweet like me. I was wondering if that would be amenable to you there.
Beldrin loves your attitude. He is very receptive to it, and he's beaming. He's like, "We have a wonderful inn for all travelers to stay in. It's called the Graven Gulch Inn. I can definitely get you a cup of coffee. We have let me show you around. We have a lovely town. We have a lovely village, and I would love to show you around. Show you the general store, show you the inn, get yourselves comfortable for your stay here. We're happy to have travelers come visit us.
You're gonna show us around?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, you don't get that kind of hospitality everywhere. Some places they would just tell you to keep on moving, take a hike. We're gonna get from a local. Oh my gosh, yeah, I would love to go to the Graven Gulch if I could stock up on some hardtack and maybe a little bit of jerky if you have it,
Oh,
a little bit of gorp. I
I'm-
love me some gorp, especially. Don't tell everybody, but the raisin is my favorite part.
I promise I won't tell anyone. But
That's a
also,
wild take.
that is a wild take.
Oh,
Yeah. So Belgian is
that's
super is like chumming it up with Betty, and Belgian leads you all inside of Woodhurst. The town, again, like I was saying earlier, it's lovely. It's a lovely looking town. Bunch of houses, made of wood with thatched roofs. There's a couple of buildings like made of stone. Those ones are generally more like where business is being done type buildings. Belgian leads you all to the Graven Gulch. He's like, this is where you'll be staying. You can hitch up your donkeys here. We have a lovely stable with a stable hand that'll take care of your donkeys. Let me show you where the general store is. And like this kind of like goes on for a little bit. This town has it like consists of like around 500 people. So you're probably able to like get around this village within an hour, right? It's not big. But it's got a couple of districts, and Belgian kind of like gives you the lowdown on each district. He's like, as you walk by one district, he's like, this is the blacksmith district. We have, obviously, like the name suggests, we have blacksmiths, but we also have buckle makers, locksmiths, masons. And then as he continues, he's like, we also have a textiles district. We have a hat maker, a rope maker. We have a couple of tailors, some tanners, some shoemakers.
Oh my god.
We are a very busy village. We want to turn into a full-fledged town, but keep that, small village like principles of being able to know everyone and being friendly with everyone. He's like, we got bakeries, we got a couple of taverns for when you need a drink or two.
couple of taverns, my. It's
Yeah,
impressive.
it's
More than one.
We are a growing village. We have a small market where our fishermen come to sell their fish. Our farmers come to sell their vegetables, and where the butchers can sell some of their meats. And he continues to do this, and you guys get a good sense of this town, and it's honestly it's pretty impressive what this town is doing within the wastelands.
Yeah, are we sure this cult is bad?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It sounds like
Yeah.
they're doing great things for this little town.
Or yeah. Well, Devon, do I notice or recognize any like obviously religious buildings as we walk through the town?
Very, very good question. There are definitely some small churches that you see. Belgian, he's not ignoring them, right? Like he's definitely like showing them off. The churches have a wooden wheel. Like where like a church would have a cross in our world. It has like a just a one wooden wheel. Actually, I'm gonna go a step further. The wheel turns every once in like slowly. It's like slowly turning
Ooh.
on the churches.
Are the churches or temples, are they a circle? Because I feel like that would make sense, right? If churches are designed to look like a cross, because
Yeah.
that's what Jesus died on.
Uh-huh.
Are these a circular building?
Ooh, I hadn't thought about that, but I love that idea. So yes, they are. The building is circular in nature. That's such a good idea, Jacob.
The pastors
just
they
call it-
perform in the round, like it's
Yeah.
Shakespeare time.
Yeah, yeah, it's like an amphitheater in the center.
I think that like as we're passing the churches, Danny's gonna make the plan to break off, and it's just gonna like crawl up to like Harvey's neck and then rub a little antenna on his neck so that like
Ooh.
he's paying attention, and then like crawl all the way down and like skitter away.
What makes it worse is
I-
that you were definitely between the chainmail and Harvey, so you had to like poke your antenna through the little chain.
Ah.
We definitely would have discussed this when we were talking about the plan back at the campfire.
Mhm.
But Betty understands animals now, so while Harvey just hears like, Betty's like, the plan is coming into action.
I'm gonna say that like if I don't catch up with you before then, let's meet. Is there like a notable place kind of in the center of town?
I think. I haven't
Well,
thought
so
of one. There's definitely like a fountain at the center of town. There's probably like a little village square type thing.
We
Cool.
tied up the donkeys, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you guys have definitely like set up and are planning to go back to the Graven Gulch Inn, where your donkeys are hitched.
If we tied up the donkeys, can we just agree if we get separated over the course of this adventure, we need to get the hell out of Dodge, we meet up by the car, which is what the donkeys are, so we could just get the hell out of here.
I love it. Yes.
That's a good idea, but I was also gonna say that like just for today, if I don't meet up with you guys before midnight, then meet me there at midnight. It means I found some cool shit that I need to go explore.
Copy. At the center of town, you mean? At the
We should
fountain?
say at the donkeys. That's a good idea.
donkeys.
Let's just have
Okay.
one meeting spot.
If we like meet at like the inn or something, then it's like you're not turning back
It's not
into a
suspicious,
halfling
right?
in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody's like, what are you doing at the stables late at night? I'll be like, my donkey Squirts has IBS. I gotta give my donkey its medicine.
You got to do it.
You don't want to see what happens if I forget.
So you're splitting off, Danny, at this moment.
Yeah.
At this point, now that you've passed the church. Okay, we'll come back to you in a second. Okay. And
Yeah.
maybe you might even revise your plan in just a second, because I was going to say, that the Belgian saved the best for last. He has this
Ooh.
very excited face. He has this very excited expression on his face. And he's like, it's not completely done yet, but we've already started using it. We've built a cathedral, and you guys round a corner and you see this big cathedral of a church.
Mhm.
And like you said, it looks, honestly, it's a circle. And if you had like an aerial view of this, like if this was like a movie, we'd get like an aerial view of this, and if you did like a top down view of it, it would look like a wooden wheel, right, with spokes,
Mhm.
with a center, the spokes, and then an outer ring, right? It's definitely like the keystone piece of this village. It's honestly pretty impressive to behold, and like you guys are obviously from Antara, and there are plenty of big buildings here, but this probably not the most. It's not the biggest building you've ever seen, but it's still like it's impressive, especially for a village of this size. And just like the other smaller churches that are kind of like dotted throughout the village, this one also sports a turning wheel on like the front entrance of this cathedral.
Yeah, consider my plans revised. I was like just skittering down Harvey when he said that. He's like, now the best thing for last. And I was like, wait,
Oh wait.
wait.
I can like feel you in my boot.
Um, oh, quick personal anecdote. I don't know when the last time you guys interacted with a cockroach, but I had a couple of big motherfuckers enter my house like last month. They are nasty. I hate cockroaches so much. I had to smash one in my bathroom, and I hated it every moment that it was in my house.
Yeah.
It was as big as my hand, or like the palm of my hand. It was the worst.
Oh man, when
jeez.
they're that
Ugh.
big and you can like hear them moving.
Oh,
like,
you can
they're
hear
not
them.
silent.
Oh, they're skittering around.
It's so bad.
It's the literal worst. Um,
I'm sorry. I
no,
hope they're all.
I
Yeah,
was
that's
able to like
awful.
get one out. Because I feel bad for killing the animal, right, or the bug. So I got one out, but the other one I was like, nah,
Don't feel bad.
it's
Cockroaches don't have souls.
No, cockroaches
Yeah.
are fucking worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a battle to the death. Either the cockroach
It's
is
the cockroach or
slain
me.
or you are.
Yeah.
There is few like I can deal with regular cockroaches, but when they can fly,
Oh, dude.
Oh, no.
This
you
one flew at
forget
me.
that they can do that. You're
I
like,
forget
you
that
can
they
fly.
can do that. But it's the worst.
Mhm.
It's like a fucking superpower they keep hidden for like the worst moment.
Yeah, it's their pocket
Yeah.
sand.
Yeah, when anything bigger than like a fruit fly is like flying around, I don't.
You're
really
like, no,
Yeah.
no.
I
It's too
don't like
much.
when bugs become audible. They just
It's
that's too big.
That's why I hate crickets. They're so
Ah.
loud.
Crickets are
Yeah.
so
They
loud.
they get into your wall, and then you can't even kill them.
No.
You just gotta live. It's like if you had a roommate that was just singing.
all the
Yeah.
time.
All the
I've had
time.
that roommate before.
But bad show tunes. They get into your walls and they ruin your dreams.
They just do runs all the time, but they're not Mariah Carey. They're Craig, and it sucks.
Okay. You see this big cathedral.
Mhm.
It sounds like Danny. This is where you wanted to kind of peel off. You've kind of indicated to Harvey, and Betty was able to overhear that you're kind of gonna peel off here and see what you can learn within this cathedral.
I'm just gonna say to Betty really quick, like before I go, that I think this guy is a nobody, and I'm gonna go find somebody whose identity it would be worth it to steal.
Hmm.
Betty's just gonna adjust the little patch on her shirt with the Pegasus skull as like an indication that like she heard you. She's on with the plan.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
That's perfect. I guess we'll start with Danny, since Danny is kind of splitting off from the group. What exactly are you trying to do? Like, what are you doing?
So I only have 2 holds as a cockroach. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is try to find somebody I can stare at for long enough to study their essence. Just if I go into the church, is there anything going on right now, like an event, or is it dead?
Okay, that's a good question. It's neither. It's neither. There's no event going on, but it's not dead. There are people kind of like running about, doing a bunch of chores, whatever, people in churches do. But there's also some people in the pews, kind of in the center of this church, who are quietly praying.
Oh, okay. I have an excellent idea then.
Please.
I'm going to drop my hold as a cockroach and turn into my regular halfling self.
Do you? I just want to clarify. Do you still have your rabid glamour on?
No, I'm gonna take the charm off because it's just like a little necklace that I can take on and off. I'm gonna take it off.
Okay. Cool. So I don't think we've seen Danny in her normal guise in a while.
Yeah.
So Danny no longer looks like a rabid rat.
Yeah.
They're back to their normal halfling self.
Just a little mouse person.
Yeah, just a little mouse person. That's nice.
And And so I'm going to like try to read the room and suss out somebody who looks like particularly gullible. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody who's crying right now. I feel like that's a good
Oh.
sign.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go? Okay, you want to go with that gullible. Okay. Sure. You see, an elderly woman who, head down, fingers crossed, um, for the most part quiet, but you can kind of like see, like when someone's kind of like crying quietly, their like kind of body is like lurching a little bit and from crying. Yeah, she's kind of sitting alone in a pew, doing that.
Okay. I'm gonna go up and sit next to her, like a little bit close, you know?
Okay.
And then I'm just going to like pat her back and say, "Sister, can I pray for you?"
Um, yeah, I think she's going to. She's not going to open her eyes. Her head's kind of down, right? And she's just going to say, "Yes, I think I'd appreciate that."
Okay. I'm gonna say, "Tell me what troubles you today, sister."
Um, she says, I'm praying for my husband. Uh, he recently chose to pass away, and I miss him dearly.
Oh, oh God. Okay. Um, I'm just going to say, um, open your eyes, sister, that I may look into them. And we will come to be friends as the wheel designs.
Um, she's going to raise her head and say, those are strange words. You must be new. But but I really appreciate what you're doing. And she kind of raises her head and she looks into your eyes. Her cheeks are wet with tears.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna try to study her essence while she's looking at me.
Okay. Um, I feel like this should be a move almost. Um,
Could it be a defied
I was gonna be
danger,
like
maybe?
at the fight. Yeah, I was thinking exactly that. It's like emotional damage. You're
Yeah.
trying to like not be too emotionally hurt by this. So I think, what skill would this be? This is gonna be either like charisma or wisdom. I feel like.
Yep.
I feel like maybe wisdom to like try and, I don't know. I feel like wisdom. I feel like wisdom would be an okay choice for this.
Okay, here we go. Yep, I got a 9. I successfully probably manipulate the old lady.
Okay,
Oh wait, is that a mixed success?
it's a mixed success. Let me just look up what the downside is for mixed success on Defy Danger. Um,
It looks like I will stumble, hesitate, or flinch. You will offer me a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. Dang.
yeah, I think I'm gonna give you an ugly choice here, or a hard bargain, however you want to look at it. You need to make, in order to like get her essence. Right now, it's hard. Like right now, the bulk of her essence is like the sadness that she's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think you need to pry a little bit into her relationship with her
Oh
husband,
no!
and I think if you do that, it's gonna make her more sad. So you got to make her more sad in order to like get a little bit more out of her. Because like because it's you right, like it's different than like studying Harvey and Folly, who
Yeah,
you've been traveling with for a while. You need a little bit more from this old woman to kind of like get a sense of her.
yeah, yeah. I think that's an excellent hard choice, Devon. And I know this is a game and the ultimate goal is to achieve our goals, but I can't do it. And Danny's just gonna like take her little half leaf pipe out of her bag and some like weed and then be like give it to the lady and be like, lady, when I was suffering through grief, taking a few breaths of this brought me relief from pain. Maybe it will help you the same. Also, there are side effects. You can look into it, ask somebody. Anyway, I'm gonna go. You have a really nice day.
That's
And then I think Danny would also try to like stumble through like a real prayer real quick. Oh, wheel, how you turn. You know, like something.
Oh my God.
I think
Yeah.
the old woman kind of like she takes the. Do you give her the pipe?
Yeah,
Like for keepsies.
yeah.
Okay.
For
For
keepsies.
keepsies. She takes it. And she kind of like pats your hand as you stumble through your prayer. You know, like knowing that like it's not exactly a prayer, but like also appreciating you know, the acknowledgement. And
Yeah.
you are unfortunately unable to, you know, gather her essence to take her form. But you do see her smile a little bit, as she like really appreciates what you did for her.
Oh.
And
That's some free weed.
yeah, and she got some free weed. Little does she know.
Absolutely wild. Can you imagine if you were grieving because your husband died and you were in church
In a
and
church.
an emo kid was like, "Hey, here's some weed and a full glass pipe and it's yours now."
Yeah.
You know, I'd feel a little better.
Listen, okay.
Yeah.
I
would appreciate it. Yeah.
have friends IRL who are like little punk kids their whole life, and I was going through a hard time, and my friend brought me some supplements and was like, "This is what we take after we've been partying for several days. It'll help." And I'm like, "Okay, cool."
It'll help.
It's like it was a vitamin supplement, but yeah,
This
is what Danny knows
It's exactly the same.
exactly.
Okay. I think we're gonna break. I think we're gonna break from Danny for right now. So we're back outside of the church. The three of you, excluding Danny, are still with Beldrin, and he turns to the three of you and he asks, I feel like I have been talking all day, and I haven't. I feel like I haven't been a proper host. I feel like I haven't asked about you at all. Where do you guys come from? And what brings you to our lovely village of Woodhurst?
We're from Grimhold, you know, as I said, you know, main reason we were hoping we could get some rations and some coffee with some sugar and all that, and um but you know, like while we're here, this is a pretty lovely space you got here. I mean, I haven't seen any there's like not any trash on the ground or nothing there. The streets do not smell like pardon my language, they do not smell like pee pee. Not at all.
We, I he says, we take pride in our cleanliness. Um, we are a growing town, and we'd like to have a very strong foundation for the principles that we would like to uphold. Um, because we are a growing village, we are very open to people who might be interested in, you know, bringing uh, their knowledge and their past lives to us, while at the same time, you know, accepting our beliefs and our scriptures that we have come to hold dear to us. Um, so if you'd like to know more, we would be happy to have you, you know, attend maybe a sermon or two. I don't know how long you all are staying here, but we have, you know, sermons all throughout the day. Um, also, there's no pressure, but you guys did come at a very fortuitous time. We hold rituals uh, on a lunar cycle, um, and we don't like to, I don't go into the details to travelers usually, but you guys uh, uh, have been very very lovely to be around. But we have uh, a very special monthly ritual that we perform. Um, that we would, if you guys are interested, and um, we would love to have you if you'd like to join and learn more about, our religion.
What time
And
will
when
that be at?
Uh, the ceremony happens tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
It'll be
Okay.
held here. He holds up his hands at the large cathedral. Um, it'll actually be the first one that we've held here. Now that we've gotten this cathedral constructed to a decent point, and you can guys still see that there's like some scaffolding at the top of some towers. Um, there's like a tower that doesn't have a roof on it and whatnot, but it's like for the most part a pretty fully constructed cathedral. So yeah, um, would you guys be interested in attending some sermons before our ceremony tomorrow?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I think
I-
Folly has been. Sorry, go on.
No, please go.
I think Folly's been kind of putting on a big show of like looking like really impressed at this cathedral, like, oh my god. And then it's like, no, it is so wonderful to see how important your faith is to your community. You know, that's one thing. I'm always saying this to these two. You know, I'm always saying it's really sad how, in Grimhold people just don't care about faith and the community that worship can bring. I'm very excited to see how you folks do things here.
Belgian goes, I totally understand that. I think he's at this point he's picked up all of your names. So he goes, Folly,
Mhm.
I'm so sorry to hear that your time in Grimhold has been so lacking in that faith. And I know how fulfilling faith can be, and
Yes.
I want to share that with others. And this town, can be wary of travelers because they aren't coming in with the same faith and belief that we have. And I'm so excited to see that you three are so interested in our faith.
Yes, we're all very devout. We're
Okay.
pray together all the time.
I'm going to tell you, Beldrin, I'm going to stop you right there because I simply cannot accept this offer because you done showed us around your whole town, and I must insist that before I go, you at least let me get a cup of coffee for you. So can we get to the coffee shop and we can discuss plans? You can tell us if it's if I need to wear like my Sunday best, whatever this world's version of Sunday best is, or I just come as I am. Do I need to bring a gift? Do I need to like bring a small animal for us to, like ritualistically sacrifice?
Betty, you are being too kind. As travelers and potential initiates into our faith, your clothes are just fine. Um, but if you are interested in staying and continuing to participate in this faith and join our village, we will provide you with appropriate clothing. And as you guys have been looking around or walking around this village, you have noticed that everyone is wearing like the same type of clothing. Like the men.
No.
Oh yeah, the men are wearing
No.
white tunics with like a golden yellow like filigree or accents on their clothing, and then women wear like white dresses with the same type of golden yellow filigree or accents on their clothing.
You can't
So
put
we like
Harvey in
probably
Fabric.
really stand out.
You
Sorry.
guys are definitely like very noticeable as travelers because you are not wearing the kind of like standardized clothing that the village wears.
Cult clothing. Oh
Cult
god.
clothing.
You can't put Harvey in Fabric. It's not right.
we
It's an affront to Ravunth.
we
Just like
well,
drape an extra large tunic over his armor.
yeah, we'll come to that as it comes, but yeah, we'll make like they'll make like a proper surcoat for you. But Belgian like continues his conversation with Betty. He's like, "Let's go get that cup of coffee. I would love to, continue our discussion about the spokes of the turning wheel and our faith." But as you guys start to walk, you guys don't get that far away from the cathedral when a large kind of boom erupts nearby, and it like shakes the nearby buildings and the ground, and you all kind of like have to like keep your balance as this kind of like explosion almost kind of erupts onto the scene. And
Does this guy react?
Oh yeah, he's like terrified. He has no idea what's going on.
Okay.
And not long after this kind of like explosion kind of happens, you hear a bunch of screaming not too far off, and you see like people running, and
I'm going.
you're going.
I'm going.
Yeah, you're going towards the
Can I-
explosion.
Can
Yeah,
I try to discern the realities of what's happening while Harvey's running in?
While Harvey's running, yeah. We'll go with Harvey just real quick, and then we'll come to you, Betty, because you want to try and discern realities, but I want to know exactly how you're doing that. You kind of like round the corner, Harvey, and you see several things. First, you see a small grouping of what you recognize as zombies. They're zombos. They're just shambling about. They're chasing after some citizens as they run and scream. You're seeing, but more importantly, like that's like kind of like the first thing that you clock are those things. But as you kind of like look down the street, you see two creatures. One creature is this huge mass of limbs and flesh. Harvey, you probably don't have like a name for it, and there might not even be a name. It doesn't look like a creature you've ever seen before, right? But to you, the only word that comes to mind is abomination.
Fucking sick.
But additionally, once you see this abomination kind of like rolling and kind of undulating to move,
I knew it.
You see this other creature kind of like pop out, and he's kind of like prowling the streets, kind of like getting his bearings. And this creature you kind of do recognize. I think this is kind of maybe not a common creature, but like a creature that people know about. It's a manticore. It has the body of a lion, a scorpion stinger for a tail, the wings of like a young dragon, and then a face of a like a pained woman, a woman in pain. And all the body parts are kind of like in various states of decay.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's what Harvey sees. We're gonna get back to you in just a second, Harvey, to hear
that's
what
fine.
you're going to do. But Betty, you said you wanted to make the roll for discern realities, but what exactly did you want to do in order to like trigger that move? You know, like what are you doing exactly to like make that happen?
I clocked the position. I clocked the location where the sound came from. Right, the direction.
Yeah.
Not the location, the direction. I step directly in front of both Folly and Beldrin, right? Putting myself in between the two of them and the explosion. Bleu, who has as one of his like skills guard, steps near me, and I'm just trying to figure out like I'm just trying to figure out what's going on in our immediate vicinity to make sure that we don't miss anything, right?
Yeah.
Because this could be like a distraction. There could be something that we go after and it like leaves us vulnerable for something else. So I'm just operating in a way that makes sure that before the fight starts, we're in a good position. I rolled an 11.
Excellent.
So I already know my 3 questions.
Great.
Like I said, I'm focusing on what's happening right here, right now. So my questions are, what happened here recently? What's about to happen? And what should I be on the lookout for?
Okay. So I think the general sense is that what's happening here, you said what happened. The first question is what happened here recently, right?
Yes.
These creatures burst out of a building nearby. You can kind of like see like in the distance a building that has like kind of like collapsed, but you can kind of see that like the wood has like it didn't look like the wood like looks like something exploded out of it, right? So you can kind of tell like where these creatures have originated from, right? Um, and you can I'm going to also give you this, like you can kind of like sense that there's some like necromantic energy about these creatures that's kind of like recent. It's like fresh. Um, you don't like you're not much of a wizard, but you can just kind of like you have like a feeling that it's like fresh. Like I feel like when you guys were back in Antara and you were like searching Molly's cell, like Betty was like looking at the leftover remnant magic, but this magic feels different, right? It feels like it's fresh and it's just kind of like recently occurred, right? So that's kind of what happened recently. Um, could you tell me what the next question was?
What's about to happen?
These monsters are hungry. They are ready to maul. They're ready to consume any living being that they can get their hands on.
Ooh, that's fine.
Yeah, they. You can tell that they're clearly undead. All of these creatures are clearly undead, and they don't seem to be under anyone's control. And then what was the third question?
What should I be on the lookout for?
Oh,
I guess if it helps, feel free to give me a different answer. But if it helps, like when I say that there's zombies, is there a necromancer around that is that what I should be on the lookout for? Is there more zombies coming? Is that what I should be on the lookout for?
yeah. Um. Okay. So what I think is you get the sense that the abomination and the manticore are the main issues here. Um, you get that sense because the abomination in like it moves very erratically and it kind of rolls into another building and like just like kind of like destroys it. Um, uh, whereas the manticore it has very a predatory look on its face and it's like looking to very specifically target people. Um, but at the same time, you do notice that there are 2 people nearby who do not look panicked, but they do look worried.
Hmm.
So I don't know if I'm going to give you more than that, uh, but you can kind of like in the same time, like I feel like with the questions that you're able to get, you can tell that they are not. I guess this is another question, but I'm just going to give it to you. They are not in control of these monsters. They're not so much frightened of them, but they're not in control of them, if that makes sense.
Okay. Copy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think we'll start with Harvey, just because Harvey was like the first to act here, and then I'll come back to the rest of you. Harvey. There
Yep.
are about,
First things first.
Yeah, tell me what's up. You see
Yep.
you see about you see several zombies, and then you see obviously the very large abomination made up of, you know, corpses and just limbs and body parts, and then you also see the manticore. That looks very yeah.
What is the citizen situation?
The
How many
ci-
are around still?
There's a lot. I think
Okay.
this is happening kind of near the center of the town, and there's already like a couple of zombies who are on top of some citizens who they haven't killed them yet, but they are, you know, they got a hold of them, and the citizens are trying to like fight back.
Okay, then I guess I need to save the ones who have been got. I
Okay.
was gonna defend, but I don't think that'll help the ones that are already in trouble, and they'll probably die. So can I try to fend the zombies off? Like my first goal, like I don't necessarily need to attack the zombies. I just need them to get off these citizens.
Is that defend?
Is it,
Yeah,
or is it like parlay?
Let me see the, because I don't know if you have leverage to parlay.
A weapon.
Oh, I see. You're okay. Hold on. Let me see. When
Whenever you stand in defense of a person, item, or location.
Yeah, I think defend is the move here.
Okay. I will.
That's what you want to, because it's plus con.
Yeah.
Okay. I am defending.
Also, oh, never mind.
That's a 10.
That's a 10?
That's a 10.
That's excellent. Okay. So you hold 3.
Yes.
So you rush up and you are doing your best to kind of like defend these citizens who are being attacked by these zombies. Zombie is coming in and is about to, you know, go after some man, and it's about to bite them. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to spend a hold to redirect the attack
Okay.
to myself.
Sure. I feel like we kind of like see a scene of like Harvey kind of like seeing this about to happen, and you kind of like maybe like push the citizen out of the way, so that the zombie like attacks you instead. The zombie is gonna do probably not enough to do any damage to you, honestly. Yeah, it's gonna do 5 damage to you, but that is before
So
your
it's going to
armor.
do no damage
So
to
it's
me.
gonna do no damage. Yeah. So it like tries to, you know, it tries to bite you as if it was the person that they were attacked, but your armor is just too beefy. It was like a pretty solid attack, but your armor just, you know, it cannot get to your flesh, which is what it's trying to do.
Yeah, so I feel like it like chomps down on my arm because I just like shoved my arm in the way, and I'm gonna like shout at the citizen, just leave, run, go, get everybody.
The citizen like he's in shock, right? His eyes are wide. This is not a usual occurrence here, and he just nods and he like scrambles to his feet, and he tries to like get other citizens to follow him.
Fantastic.
We'll go back. This is very exciting. We'll go back to Folly. What are you doing as this kind of pans out in front of you?
Yeah. I mean, Devon, would you say that most of these undead creatures are intelligent or mindless undead?
I would say all of them are mindless undead except for the manticore. I feel like the manticore still has a semblance of intelligence.
Okay, I want to try I haven't used this move in a while. I wanted to try using my move Turn Undead. When you hold your holy symbol aloft and call your deity for protection, roll plus whiz. If I get a 10 plus, I momentarily daze intelligent undead and cause mindless undead to flee. If I just get a 7 to 9, they just can't come near me. But I think at this point, Folly is kind of like rushing into battle behind Harvey. So if I get a mixed success, I think my plan would be to kind of like stand between any remaining citizens and the undead to kind of protect them.
Cool. I think that is awesome. I just want to clarify to make sure the symbol that you're holding up is a symbol of ash. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And I think
just
Harvey
putting that
is.
out there. Uh-huh.
I think Folly is maybe hoping that
no one notices.
I think what I'm specifically holding up is like the mushroom that I still have from Ash.
Oh, that's cute.
So I'm just maybe hoping that our good friend Bildrin doesn't notice that.
Doesn't follow us. Okay, cool. Yeah. Go ahead and roll that, and we'll see what happens depending on your roll.
I should have a +1 forward still. Oh my god, got a 16.
Whoa! Whoa!
I rolled two 6s. I have a +3 whiz, and I had the +1 forward.
Holy moly! Okay,
Crazy.
I know. I wish we had critical hits in there because that's incredible.
Okay.
Full solid. Full success. Obviously. You said on the full success, it dazes intelligent and makes the others
causes mindless undead to flee. It does say aggression breaks the effects and they're able to act as normal. I imagine whatever the zombie is that Harvey is already engaged with, this might not work, but for the rest of them, I'm just trying to get them to leave.
Yeah, sure. So I think what you see is you cast your divine spell. Most of the zombies head in the opposite direction. They're mindless, so like it's like a very like primordial fear. It's like lizard brain fear. They're just like they're fleeing. They know that they should not be going in the direction that they are currently trying to go to. And so they head off in the opposite direction, as does the large abomination. It starts to like roll and slide and undulate away. And then you also see the manticore. It pauses, right? It's like it doesn't know what to do. It's a little bit unsure. And then I think like what you described, I think the zombie that Harvey was facing is still like looking at Harvey. It's not running away. Let's put it that way. It's not running. But yeah, I think that was an excellent move because the citizens are now able to like kind of like run away. The ones that like were being initially attacked are able to kind of flee. So that's awesome. Betty, what are you doing as you see these zombies and undead start to go? Unfortunately, I mean, it was a success. So the undead aren't attacking others yet. They're not attacking other people yet, but they are not necessarily leaving the city or the village, you know? Like
they're still like, yeah, I mean
they're still contained within the village. So like they're still an issue, right? Like it's not like they're just gonna run away and not come back.
Right.
So Betty, you see all this happen. What do you do?
I rolled a 13 to cast magic weapon on my my like crossbow.
Very cool.
And I would like to take a shot at the manticore.
Excellent. It sounds like you're triggering the move volley. So go ahead and roll plus dex.
Do I get the +1 forward from acting on my discern realities?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. 5 on the dice plus 3 dex is 8, and then another +1, so that's 9.
Oh wait. The +1 forward is just for the roll, I think.
Yeah, I didn't roll damage.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
This is my volley roll. So my volley roll was a 9. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna like, I don't need, I probably do it out of habit. I like talk in, we talked about this before, but like, how some people will teach their dogs commands in like German.
Yeah.
I do it in, I mean, the actual words I've been using are like Latin, but I think I speak to Bleu in like this world's like, what is it in Game of Thrones, like High Valyrian?
Yeah.
It's like their Latin.
Uh-huh.
So it's like that, but I don't need to anymore. He can understand me and I can understand him more or less. But I have him rush at the Manticore, and yeah, that's a 9, and
Okay.
then I'll go ahead and roll my damage.
Yep. But a 9 is a mixed success, so you do have to choose one of the one of the options.
Okay.
Are you gonna do
So
a negative 1d6 damage? Are you gonna take several shots and reduce your ammo by 1, or are you gonna like put yourself in a precarious situation?
I'm gonna do an item thing, and I'm gonna leave it up to you. Would you prefer it? Okay. My bolts are tipped with serpent's tears.
Right.
So, would you rather I get rid of one of my bundles of arrows, or would you rather that I get rid of my serpent's tears?
Ooh.
I just want to put it out there. I don't want you to get rid of my serpent's tears, but
no,
I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't say that.
Could you remind me, please, where you got your serpent's tears? Like, do you have did we give you like a certain amount of uses on your serpent's tears?
No, I rewatched this episode recently when I was
Sure.
editing, and we bought it from the League of Severed Tongues. I exchanged some components for it, and there's nothing in the book about a fixed amount, and so you had said we had decided basically at some key critical point, if like I fuck up a roll, running out of it can be the complication.
Okay.
So since I just watched that episode, that's why it's in my
That's
head.
what. Yeah. I don't. Okay. So here's the thing. I think I'm gonna do a mix here.
Okay.
I don't want to like fully take away your serpent's tears yet, because I think they're super cool. But I think what's gonna happen is that you're gonna run out of your bundle of arrows, and you don't have the serpent's tears applied for your next attacks.
Well,
Or
I run out of an ammo. I don't run out of a bundle of arrows, right? Because a bundle of arrows comes with 3 ammo.
Sorry, sorry. I made a that was my bad. You're right.
Good.
A bundle of arrows is 3, ammo of arrows. The way that like I think of like an ammo of arrows or bolts is that like I think of each ammo as like a quiver of them.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I marked that off. I still have 7 ammo because
Oh
I
my
came
God.
strapped.
Okay.
No serpent's tears for the rest of the fight, but they should still be applied for this attack.
Yes.
Which means any attacks we make against the MANTICORE will roll advantage on damage rolls, and I gotta say it, Zach. Things are looking real good for you in the future because Zach bought me these dragon eyeball dice that I can use in the other campaign to like screw you guys over with when I'm GMing, and I rolled a 1 and a 2 for damage. But luckily, I get to add Blue's ferocity modifier, so it goes from a 3 to 6 damage against the MANTICORE.
Okay, that is excellent. Okay, I just gotta record this real quick. Oh my God. Okay, so you poisoned the undead MANTICORE. The serpent's tear poison. It gives attackers advantage on their damage rolls, right?
Yeah. So when Harvey eventually breaks this thing in half with his burning brand, he'll be doing double damage.
That is
Ooh.
double.
Or not double damage. Advantage on damage.
Advantage on damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Roll double
Fucking-
dice and then take the higher.
Yes. So and you
And
did.
I'm already rolling 2 dice for damage.
Oh my god,
Mhm.
that's crazy. Okay. In any case, I think we'll still give you advantage though, Jacob, on your damage roll. Did you do
Hmm?
that?
I don't. Well, I don't think that we've been rolling it where the attack that does the damage that applies the poison does
Okay,
double damage.
I guess that makes sense, right? It has to get into the bloodstream before it starts to like
Yeah.
take effect. Okay, so you do 6. You rolled 6 for damage essentially.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna just bring it down to that. Okay. Um, the arrow goes in, or the bolt goes into the manticore. Um, it kind of like hits it. It's it's got like a lion's body, right? So like it kind of like hits it in its like shoulder or back. Um, and it's the bolt is still sticking out of it, but the manticore does not seem too unaffected by the attack. Let's see, Betty. Okay, Betty, you just shot the manticore. Um, there's still kind of chaos happening, but the zombies and the abomination seem to be fleeing opposite from everyone. We're actually going to jump to Danni real quick.
Ooh.
Danni, you felt the rumble of the explosion. Um, it was definitely not nearly as like impactful as what the others felt, but you could like feel it, and there was like a loud enough bang for you to be like, oh, that's very weird. Uh, what do you do when you hear and feel that?
Well, Devon, I'm glad you asked. Because you know what? I think something around here smells like fish. I think there's some bullshittery going on, Devon.
I think it's probably just the market.
So, no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
but Belgium did say there's fishermen, you know.
Not in the game. Outside of the game.
Oh,
In the meta space. I think there's some bullshittery going on. So, Danni is going to immediately drop their cockroach disguise and acquire their Lieutenant Libby disguise.
okay, cool. You were actually in your Danny normal form.
I was. You're right. I switched back. Thank you.
So, but that does not stop you from going into your Libby form.
Okay, here we go. We'll give it a shot. Come on, rolls, don't let me down. Oh, it's 12.
I mean that's
Nice.
that's a full success. So
Very
you get to
good.
take 3 hold in
Yeah.
your Lieutenant Libby form. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Do you put on your Lieutenant Libby outfit or clothes that fit your Lieutenant Libby?
I do. Did we say I had a Lieutenant Libby outfit? I think we just said I had clothes that fit her,
I think
right?
it's clothes that fit. You don't necessarily look like a guard.
Okay, that's fair.
You borrowed.
So, yeah.
You borrowed some of Betty's. Betty gave you
Right.
some human-sized clothes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put those on and I'm gonna run out into the fray.
Okay, cool. So you exit the big cathedral. There is like pandemonium all around you. There are definitely some people running into the church. There's some people running down the street. You can kind of see your comrades engaging with the zombies, or at least a zombie, while more zombies are running away. You can see the manticore that Betty shot, and you can see the abomination that's kind of like crawling, undulating away.
Okay.
What do you do?
Ignoring all that, I'm just gonna keep looking around.
Oh, okay. What are you looking around for? Like, do you have an intent? Like, what's your intention of just like looking around?
Yeah, I just want to make sure, because when I go to a new place in the Blasted Wastelands and there's some bullshittery going on, the first thing I think is my parents, right?
Uh-huh.
So I just want to look around and see if I notice any familiar faces.
Go ahead and roll a discern realities for me, please.
Okay,
That is plus whiz, I believe.
Okay. Come on, dice,
Correct.
don't let me down. Oh, wait. Do I have any inspiration? Because I have to use those before, right?
Yes, you do have to announce that you're using inspiration before you roll.
I think I have some. I just can't remember where I wrote it down.
I'm sure. I'm like almost positive you definitely have
Can
some.
can I clock them?
Clock who?
Lieutenant Libby.
Do you like, as in like, do you see Lieutenant Libby?
Danny.
Yeah,
Danny,
yeah.
Lieutenant Libby. Can I
Yeah.
see them?
Uh,
I wasn't sure what the space looked like.
yeah, for sure. I think yes. I think from where you are right now, you can still see the entrance to the cathedral, and you can then see Libby, / Danny as they walk out of, the cathedral.
Okay.
I can't find where I wrote it down, but I'm almost certain I had some.
I know. I feel well. You must have. I don't know if you, because I don't remember what happened last session, because we gave inspiration points out right anytime we do our triggers of
Yeah.
like fuck it, that was cool and
End of
whatnot.
session. Yeah.
And I'm almost like positive Danny has at least one.
I don't think I got one last session, but I think I did the one before. But anyway, I think I just forgot to write it down because I recently did a new character sheet.
Yeah.
So can I use one and then say that I have 0 so that it's like
Yeah, we'll just
then-
have you reset. Yeah, I think that's fair.
okay?
Zach.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have River's old character sheet?
Don't. It's like 6 pages. It'll take forever to dig up. Let's just go with this.
You have 3 inspiration.
Oh, dope.
Oh, well, there we
I-
go.
I told you River was gonna throw him away a week ago, and I said give him to me or Zach because you will forget to put something on there, and you said I can't. They just gotta go in the trash, and Zach said let me hold them.
Okay, you were right. And
It took me all of 2 seconds.
That is
Okay.
excellent. So you don't have to drop down to 0, but you are going to spend one of your 3.
Okay, cool. So
Okay, so you're going to roll your discern realities with advantage. So you'll roll 3d6 and you'll take the 2 highest rolls and add them together, plus your wisdom modifier.
okay, I got a 9.
Excellent. Which means on a 9, it's 1 or 2 questions.
I think it's
It's one.
It's 1 question. It seems like you were looking specifically for someone that you recognized, since, you know, you just have a feeling that you might recognize someone doing some fuckery.
yeah.
And
Got
lo
it,
and, lo and behold, you see your mother and father near the building that exploded. Betty,
Is it the 2 people who were suspicious looking?
it is the 2 people that are suspicious looking. Danny, could you please tell me what your father looked like the last time that you saw him?
Yeah. Okay. So my father looks like an approximation of a living being.
Oh.
Just so close. So close.
Approximate.
Hmm?
I love it.
Not quite.
Approximately.
Yeah. It's just like if you look a little too long, if you spend a little too long in his presence, this like little halfling creature has like, I don't know, just something missing. He's not quite interacting or engaged. He doesn't quite seem to have like any kind of conscience. His whole form seems like it's kind of like decaying a little bit in certain areas, and then he'll like, I don't know, brush it off or something and it'll look normal again. It's just he's holding it together. He's doing his best out here, you know?
Does he have any light in his eyes? Or are his eyes lightless?
They're lightless. I hate to say it.
Ooh.
They're lightless.
Yeah. So your mother and father are walking they're walking. They appear to be walking towards you, Danny, but they're really walking towards the cathedral, right? Like they're just kind of like walking away from the disaster that's happening. And your mother looks almost exactly like you remember her, except maybe a little bit older. But your dad looks worse than you remember. Like you were saying, like how he has that like bit of decay and that lifeless look about him. It is, and it like the last time you saw him, it looked like he was like an approximately living. The approximate is definitely like underlined and bolded now. Um,
Oh,
he can definitely
is
like
it less than approximate?
it's like yeah, it's like on the verge, on the borderline of approximate and not approximate. It's
No longer congruent. It is now similar.
yeah, it definitely like it is it looks like a halfling creature, right? But like the decay is a little bit more noticeable. He can't like hide all of it anymore. There's like some bits of flesh that are missing, perhaps, or maybe his eye is a little bit droopier. Um,
Ooh.
but
Always smells like mothballs.
and, yeah, and he
No.
doesn't smell. Yeah, you don't notice this yet because he's not close enough yet. But yeah, his scent probably is not that of a living person anymore.
Yeah.
But
Can
yeah.
I?
Oh, go ahead, Folly.
I'm not going to say. I guess like out of character. Can I ask? Are Danny's parents like also dressed like the rest of the residents of this town?
Oh, that's a good question.
I can roll for early. I just know you said that they kind of like seemed a little bit out of place, so I was wondering if that is something that
No,
the
I
other
feel
three of
like
us would have noticed.
I feel like that's something you don't need to roll for. Yeah, they are not wearing the the cult garb, the cult clothing.
Okay.
Peculiar.
Peculiar. Okay.
Hmm.
We'll give I'll give Danny one more what do you want to do now that you've seen this? I'm going to give you like one more like move.
Okay. I would just kind of take my shillelagh off my back and step in front of them in a way that's like intentionally blocking their path. And then I'm just going to say, man, whoever did this must have really fucked up.
Um uh
Oh,
obviously
can I mention something? Can I mention something that I don't know if it's going to throw off this scene or not, but Danny does always, no matter what form they take, have maggots crawling out of
That's
them in some
true.
form or another.
Yeah, it's my tell.
Oh shit. Okay. Um okay. Thank you for reminding me that. That's very interesting. The woman is leading the man, your mother is leading your father. And Danny steps in front of her mother in Danny's taken Lieutenant Libby's form. And you say just that. And it takes a moment for your like mother to like recognize you in a sense. Like she pauses and she's a little concerned, kind of concerned, mostly concerned that you stepped in front of her, not like concerned about your words. And then I feel like she notices like a maggot like crawling out of your ear, or like a maggot, uh, wherever the maggots are, and she's like, "Oh, hi, darling. It's been such a long time. I wasn't expecting to see you here."
Can I reply, or are we jumping to somebody else?
No, we'll do this scene for a little bit, and then we'll jump.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna immediately drop the disguise and be like, yeah, I'm pretty surprised to see you too. The last time I saw you, if I remember right, you were leaving town in kind of a hurry, and there were pitchforks involved.
Oh. That does sound familiar. But I feel like that does seem to happen quite often wherever I go. So I'm not really sure the last time that was. Um, and I feel like this might not be so different than the previous times. As I'm coming to, as this is all happening.
Hmm.
Uh,
Mom, I think your magic is getting weaker. Dad's looking a little unsightly.
I think your dad is looking, uh, better than ever. Um, so I don't think my magic is getting any weaker. Uh,
I don't like the way you said that.
I
That's out of
mean,
character.
um, Amaryllis goes, to be fair, I think I did take on a little bit more than I could chew, um, this time. Um, this town, there's something incredible about it. Um, there is so much like energy, so much like death energy that I can just like feel and grasp. But I, I think there was a, a little bit less than I expected there to be. Um, and so I, I may have gotten it may have gotten a little out of hand, to say the least.
Where'd you get all these corpses?
Oh, here and there, you know, it's I can't even tell you. I don't keep track.
You said there's a death energy here. I think we might have come here for the same reason.
Oh, that's very interesting, sweetie. I didn't know that you were interested in the necromantic arts. You're taken after your mother, aren't you?
Well, I figured I'd check out the family business.
Um, I think we'll come back to this conversation in a moment, because I think there is some bad shit happening around this village. Harvey,
Mhm.
you fended off the zombie from the citizens. Most of the citizens around here have by this point escaped, but the zombie's still on you, and there's still plenty more of undead creatures ready to wreak havoc on the citizens. What are you doing?
Okay, the citizens have more or less left, right?
Yeah.
So I still have 2 holds left on that defend. Can I do something else?
Yeah.
Or-
I'm gonna let you keep those. As long
Okay.
as anytime like you're acting in defense of a citizen, you can go ahead and spend those hold as you see fit.
Sick. I'm going to. I think I'm going to chase after the Manticore
Okay, sure. Yeah.
and the Abomination because they look like the biggest threats.
Yeah, so the Manticore hasn't moved much because Folly kind of dazed it a little bit with their turn undead spell.
Mhm.
But the Abomination is like actively moving away from where they were. Like it was like actively approaching the cathedral, and now it's like actively moving away from the cathedral.
Did Betty hit the Manticore or the Abomination?
Betty
I
hit
hit
the
the Manticore.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna attack the Manticore then.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and roll a hack and slash for me and see what we do here.
Hack and slash. 11.
God damn. Okay, nice. Um, that means that's a full success, so you just get to roll your damage, right?
Mhm.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll your damage.
With advantage, right?
With advantage from the turn
From the poison.
from the poison.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, 13.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Oh my. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a crazy amount of damage.
And
yeah. Oh, tell me what's up.
just reminding you, the Manticore now takes a -1d4 to damage.
That it
Oh,
deals.
that it deals. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay. Also deals -1 damage.
Yeah, so I think Harvey already had his flail out and just kind of lets it drop into the ground behind him as he's running, just dragging it behind him, just building up as much speed as he can and just sends it flying into the Manticore.
Yeah, that's crazy. You hear like a solid like crunch, as it hits the Manticore, and it takes the brunt of the attack. It is still going. It doesn't even look like it's anywhere close to being downed.
Oh, fuck.
It's definitely injured, but it's definitely like still spry and going. And I think it's gonna like hiss and snarl at you, Harvey. And I think what's it gonna do? Yeah, no, it's gonna try and attack you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna try and attack you.
It can go ahead and feel free to do that.
Yeah,
That's fine. I
That-
don't
that's-
even care.
yeah. I feel like you guys are like engaged in. It's like engaged you. It's like recognized you as a clear and present threat, and it's gonna take a lunge at you, with its claws. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I rolled so bad. It can do so much damage. Are you kidding me?
Not this turn, it can't.
Oh no.
Hold on.
I think it did do. I think it did do the.
Did it
the-
do that? Hold on. Did it actually do that?
Oh, really?
This do
If
two
you roll
piercing.
bad, it does a lot of damage?
It can do a lot of damage,
Oh,
but
no.
not this time. Yeah.
Oh, so it is shitty.
It's super.
damage?
It's a shit roll.
A bad roll for Devon is a good roll for us. I'm sorry, Devon.
I was just checking because like the last couple times that I saw it, Devin was like, "Ooh, I rolled the worst possible roll. A lot of damage for you."
No,
Okay.
this time it's okay. That's fine.
How much damage?
It
It's
did.
sub 5.
Well, this is crazy because it did 1 damage, but it has 2 piercing. So it still does 0 damage.
Yeah.
It deals 1 damage with 2 piercing, but since it only does the 1 and you have 5 armor,
And also, it takes a -1d4 to damage.
yeah, which
that it
what
deals.
well, I mean that's what the 1, right? It would have done 5 damage, but then it did. It has. I rolled a
Okay.
d4 on the minus d4.
Ooh.
I mean, if it has 2 piercing, wouldn't that 1 break through?
No, because the piercing just means it subtracts your armor. So like it. So yeah, so you still have 3 armor against.
It ignores
against
up to 2 of your
of
armor.
your armor. Yeah, so even with the
Mhm.
1 damage, it still has to get through the 3 armor.
Dude,
God damn, I just rolled bad. That's
I-
fine.
you know how
I
you
feel
know
like
manticores, they like spray their needles.
yeah.
I feel like Harvey was like, I feel like it went up to Harvey and was like, ah, and then they just went like
Blink, 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 blink. Yeah, that, it's like it's literally no different from that. Like it totally just misjudged you and the way to attack you, and it used the wrong attack on you, and it deals no damage. Whatever attack it
yeah.
used on you, it did nothing to you.
Yeah,
This
fuck this
point is
Manticore.
so embarrassing.
Yeah, this
Just
Manticore.
a roll.
If this Manticore could feel shame, he would feel so ashamed right now. Okay, but we're gonna leave Harvey and the Manticore for a second. Betty, you see Harvey and this undead Manticore engaged in combat. You see the zombies and the abomination fleeing, about to get into the rest of this village. What are you doing?
they're fleeing. The fleeing creatures are fleeing away from me, right?
They're fleeing away from you. Yes.
So even if I wanted to go after them, I'd still have to pass through the Manticore to like reach them.
The street is wide enough that you wouldn't necessarily. I mean, yeah. I mean, if we wanted to have it that way, you would have to roll
I mean, I'm just
a defy danger
yeah.
to get past it. Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm just gonna focus fire on this Manticore.
Can
Uh,
I
take another
cast
shot.
a quick bless on Betty?
Yes.
I feel like Harvey's doing pretty well on various bonuses. So
you mean his armor's like literally impenetrable? Yeah, I think.
yeah. So
Just be glad I didn't take the next armor upgrade from fighter when I leveled up.
There's another armor upgrade?
There's a +2.
Fuck.
All you gotta do is, I mean, armor doesn't do. You gotta start throwing some gaseous spells at
Yeah,
him.
I'm gonna start bringing some magic users or whatever,
Yeah.
to get past that armor, because that's nuts.
all right, I rolled a 14 on cast a spell. So Betty, you take +1 ongoing as long as you stand and fight.
Hell yeah! Well, I'm definitely doing that.
Is it +1 to the rolls, right?
Just says +1 ongoing.
Okay, perfect. Yep, that's your rolls.
Yeah, it shouldn't be for damage.
No.
Okay. So on my volley, +4 is 9.
9
Nine.
to hit.
9 to hit. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So go ahead. There's 3 options, right? You can either, since it's a partial success, you can choose to place yourself in danger, or you can choose to get -1 d6 damage, or you can reduce 1 of your ammo.
I'll mark off another. I'll mark off another ammo.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
So this Manticore, it's hard to like get a shot on this Manticore. I feel like Harvey and the Manticore are like kind of like dancing around each other, and so a couple of your shots go wide or just kind of like plink off the road before you finally. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I also feel like I'm probably taking some shots at like the fleeing like zombies or whatever, right? As
Yeah.
like they're like just like
Yeah.
yeah, because a volley is if you're doing a volley, you're doing a couple, right?
Yeah. A volley, like the way that it looks like in the fiction is that like you're letting loose a couple of shots, or several shots, right? Like, and then either one or a few of them land, which is like what your damage amounts to.
Okay. So my damage was 14.
How the fuck did you do 14 damage? That is wild.
I got an 8, and then I got the highest on my damage dice is an 8, and then I got a 3 on my magic weapon, and then I get +3 from Bleu whenever Bleu is fighting the same creature that I'm firing at.
Wow. That is incredible. Okay, that's so cool. Wow. Now I have to do some math real quick. Okay. Wow. The Manticore, after your volley of shots, and with a little bit of help from Bleu, Manticore's looking bad. Manticore's looking
good.
real bad. I feel like I'm gonna take this back to Harvey. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, can I just say I feel like Harvey hits it, and then it like pings all these things off of Harvey, and it goes to like turn to move, and I like fire a bolt right at its feet, and then as it like turns to like go in another direction, I feel like Bleu just like grabs it by the leg and starts just like
It just.
peeling the meat off its leg.
Oh, yeah. The Manticore can't keep up. You guys are the assault that you are, that you're attacking. Delivering. Yeah, thank you. On this Manticore, it just cannot keep up. Harvey, I think you have an opportunity to do something in this moment. What are you doing?
Yeah. I think while it's like turned away from me being attacked by Blue, Harvey is going to jump onto its back.
Okay. Okay.
And he's gonna just lash his flail out so that it just spins around the neck of the Manticore.
Okay. Are you trying to kill it at this
Oh,
this
yeah.
point? Oh yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll hack and slash, and we'll see how this pans out for you.
Oh no, a 6.
That's XP.
That is
Ooh.
XP.
Oh hey, XP.
That's exciting. Very, very interesting. Oh, how do I want this to go down? Oh, okay. Hold on. There's so many things that I could do right now. Hold on. I'm pretty excited. You haven't failed an attack roll in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a hard fail.
It's a hard fail. I know. So
Hard
I kind
fail.
of want to make this a little significant. I think you're able to get on top of it, but it's like bucking, right? Like a bucking bull or whatever, and you cannot do what you intended to do. You try to do it, and it's just moving in a way that you cannot get it to wrap around you. And I think,
Mhm.
but I think what the complication that actually happens is not happening here. It's happening in the rest of the village. You guys are so focused on this manticore that these frightened zombies and this abomination has made it far enough away into another section of this village where it's starting to attack other citizens.
No.
And you're starting to hear screams as the zombies and this abomination start attacking other citizens. And so
I hate it.
yeah, so that's your complication, is that the village, you're taking too long to defeat this manticore. The other villagers are being attacked by these things that have been scared away and further into this village. So let's see, where do we want to go from here? We'll go back. Okay, actually, I think this is interesting. Danni, you're having this conversation with mostly your mother. Your dad is kind of standing behind your mother, kind of like staring off into the distance with his lifeless eyes. When you hear the screams of the villagers further off into the distance, as you know, your mother's abominations and undead spread throughout the village. What do you do?
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna like turn around really fast, but as I do, I'm gonna like sweep out my shillelagh and try to trip my mom, making it look like an accident.
Okay. um. Oh shit! I don't know what that would be. I feel like that should be a move. Um. Go ahead and do. Nah. Go ahead and do a hack and slash. Um. You're not necessarily trying to like kill her, but you're like you're lashing out, trying to do a little bit of harm.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like this has happened enough that we should make like a custom. We should make a custom move for like when you want to do a combat, but you don't want to hurt them.
It's I know, because I was like, for me it's like it's either hack and slash or parlay, because you're really just trying to like physically manipulate the
This is
character.
nice. It's a 7.
Okay, so
Is that a fail?
no, it's a success, but with a complication.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, what would your mom do? Because normally it deals damage back to you.
What if?
But I feel like it's going to be emotional damage right now.
Ooh.
Can I? Oh, I got an idea.
Oh yeah, no, please go for it.
You're What if Danny's dad sees it and steps in front, and Danny hits their dad?
Oh,
No, because that's not a success.
yeah, no.
Oh, I guess that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, no, but I feel like we can still roll with that idea. I think you lash out, at your mom with your shillelagh, and you knock her down. But I think your dad gets like super protective, of your mom for a second, and kind of like almost like growls at you and says, "Don't do that to your mother. We raised you to be better." And it's like, it feels weird to have him scold you in that way, because like that they weren't really there for you. It just feels weird. It doesn't feel good to have your dad yell at you in that way. Does that make sense?
Danny's
I'm
gonna
just-
yeah.
Yeah.
Danny's gonna like hesitate for a second and then kneel down and like kind of like grab their mom's stuff and like try to scoop her up as well. But as I'm helping her up, I'm gonna try to slip a hand into the pocket where she keeps her special little book.
Oh, okay. That sounds like another move here. That's gonna be a defy danger. Probably Dex, since you're trying to like do it stealthily and quickly.
Okay, I'm just gonna use another inspiration since I just found out I have some.
Solid.
Let's do that. Oh god. Okay. Plus Dex is 8.
Okay, that's a partial success. So you're
Good
gonna
thing I
stumble,
used that.
hesitate, or flinch. I'm gonna offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. It's successful, so you are able to grab her book, but she notices you doing it. She sees you doing it, and she like kind of like screeches out like, "Hey, give that back!"
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, you have you don't. She's reaching out. She doesn't have like, you're in control of the situation for the most part here, but she's noticed you, and she is not happy that you've taken her book.
I'm just gonna like toss it up in the air and catch it and be like, "Great seeing you guys. Let's get coffee later," and then like run off to like where my friends are.
Ooh, okay, excellent. Okay. So, let me just like recap where you all are, because I think we're gonna end the session around here.
No, I haven't defeated anything yet.
Just one more hit.
Okay. Okay.
I haven't made anyone uncomfortable yet.
You've made all
I
of
think
us
you
uncomfortable
may have-
a little bit.
You made that old lady uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay. Before we end, Danny's gonna catch up, I think, with Folly. I think Folly's like kind of like the furthest one back. And then I think Betty is just like a little bit further forward, because she's shooting at the Manticore. And Bleu is up with Harvey, attacking the Manticore, while Harvey is literally riding the Manticore, like a bucking bull. We'll give Harvey one last opportunity to kill this Manticore. Or do whatever you want. You have one more move. I don't want to put words in your mouth. You have one more opportunity for a move. What do you do?
Okay, can I do 2 quick rolls? I mean, the first one's quick.
Well, tell me
I
what
want
you do.
to
Just tell me what
my
you do.
parting brand.
Okay.
So, Harvey has not failed in combat in so long. And I was going to save this for a more thematic moment, but this also feels really appropriate. What he wants to do is, instead of trying to, like wrap the chain around like normal, he's just going to grab 2 ends of it, throw it around, and his hands are going to start smoking as his flail starts to heat up. And he's gonna try to do a Star Wars style decapitation.
Whoa. Okay.
Scorch through this Manticore's head.
That is bananas. Okay, so you said you're gonna roll your burning brand, right?
Yes. Fuck yeah, 12. Yeah.
Hack and slash.
For my hack and slash, I'm burning an inspiration.
Solid.
13.
There it is. That's a full success. Go ahead and roll your damage.
10. Because I got a +1 damage from my burning brand.
+1 damage from the burning brand. Excellent.
Was it enough?
Please describe what it looks like when you kill the undead.
Yeah, so Harvey, he just grabs two ends of the chain and just throws it around and rears back, kind of like drawing more chain into his like arm. His forearms, just wrapping it up and pulling taut. As like anybody observing can see, the chain is just starting to glow red, and it gets brighter and brighter until it just erupts into flame. And you see him just cross his hands.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the head just kind of just falls off.
Plops off, yeah.
Fully cauterized. No nasty bits. It just plops and rolls.
Yeah, it does a couple of rolls, and it like, you know, we see like a scene of it, like kind of like a close up on this like headless manticore head. This woman's pained face, with her tongue rolled out. Like barely any blood really, because you basically cauterized the wound. And the body on which that you were riding, you know, collapses, and I feel like you just kind of hop off.
Oh,
Go ahead.
No, as like his the last thing you see Harvey doing in this session is he turns his attention towards like where the abomination went off to, and just and just launches himself off the back, just like straddling the side, placing both feet on the body, and just using it as a launch pad to just take off.
That's so good. Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't like flubbing attacks.
No. Yeah. Harvey feels very satisfied that his final attack was a success, and is ready to continue this battle against these undead creatures that are, you know, spreading through this village. We're gonna end this session here. The final scene is of Danni catching up with Folly, with Danni's mother and father kind of like chasing after her, or chasing after them. Sorry. We have Betty, who just saw Harvey decapitate the Manticore. I imagine, much like Harvey, they're moving forward to go chase after the undead, and then we see Harvey in the background already making their way to the rest of the undead. And we're gonna wrap up that. Oh, Betty.
And Betty, as far as I know, is the only one besides Danni who clocked those two suspicious townsfolk that Lieutenant Libby just came out of a building and started talking to nonchalantly before sprinting away from.
Wait,
Suspicious.
You're
talking about Danny's parents, right?
Yeah, I clocked those two as suspicious.
Yes.
Because I didn't share the discern realities roll with the other two. I didn't have time.
Yeah.
So I clocked two suspicious figures. Danni went to go talk to them. I don't know if Folly clocked it. I feel like Harvey definitely didn't, because Harvey was up in the fucking mix. But I have my suspicions about Danni.
Yeah. Very
Some
cool. I like that very much. Cool. So we're gonna end that here, and we'll pick up with this combat situation at the beginning of next session.
Nice.
So we're gonna do our end of session stuff.
Yes.
Okay. We can do. We'll do this one at a time, or like we can just the first trigger is, do you feel that any of your bonds have been resolved with one another? Does anyone
Yes.
feel oh, yes.
I had Danny left a complicated past behind. I will figure out what haunts them. Or left a complicated past behind in the wasteland. I'll figure out what haunts them, which I'm now going to replace with for Danny. I will uncover Danny's relationship to the two suspicious strangers.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Cool. You're making it a little bit more specific. I like that. Did anyone else feel like their bonds were resolved?
I don't think so.
I did one. The whole situation with Folly, where I forced Folly to drink my blood and I drank some of their blood without consent. I think we highly resolved it now that we had an important conversation about consent before using people for magic rituals.
I'm glad that you learned that lesson.
I like that very much.
And then I did try to study that old woman's essence, so.
That's true. But then I stopped. I was like, this is wrong. You know what I mean? I was like, this is too much.
This is too much.
I'm exploiting her. But I thought of a new one already.
And what is it?
It's basically, I noticed that Folly's always reading these books. And Danny's never been a book person, especially because like when they were a kid, they used to steal their mom's like little Necronomicons all the time and try to read them and didn't understand them and was just like, I guess all reading is this hard, you know? And so the new bond is like gonna be, I think, I've never understood my mom's weird necromantic books, but maybe Folly can or something like that.
Ooh, okay. That's exciting and interesting. I like that. Okay. Let's see. For the next trigger, I feel like we made sure everyone marked their XP if they failed a roll. And then, okay, did everyone play to their alignment? So I guess we'll go one by one. Zach, what is your alignment?
Oh, neutral, defeat a worthy opponent. That Manticore, he was worthy.
I think that Manticore is worthy. It took you you guys a bit to take him down.
I failed.
Yeah, I know. You actually didn't land a hit on one of them. Cool. Yeah, go ahead and take an XP for that. And then Betty, what is your alignment?
Stuck to or enforced a contract. I tried to initiate a social contract with my party. So I think whether or not I get the XP depends on whether or not people put on the symbol of my little adventuring crew.
Oh yeah, totally.
Folly absolutely, yeah.
100%.
It's yeah. I mean, I think Folly is like it's like a little friendship badge. This is
Yeah, no. Harvey didn't show it, but that touched him in a really positive way. He's like, oh, she really cares.
How could you? You have a helmet on all the time.
He just lifts his helmet up and like wipes a single tear away.
That's perfect. Danny, what is your alignment?
My alignment is to disregard social norms or make someone uncomfortable. I think I probably did. I think you guys are right.
Yeah. I think you I think you got it. I think you disregarded social norms by I mean even attempting to, study the essence of that old woman.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough to trigger that.
Yeah. And intentionally tripping my mom and stealing her stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That too.
I feel like Danny still operating to the beat of their own drum.
Yeah. Pretty neato.
And then Folly, what is your alignment?
My alignment is neutral, prove myself worthy of Ash's blessing.
I mean, again, you used your divine magic which I feel like is
Mhm.
is still proof of your faith.
Yeah,
And Joker and symbol.
Yeah.
which in a cult town like this may be a maybe a risky move.
Maybe a little
so.
sketchy. Yeah.
I feel like there's no better, like, whenever you hear about like parables of like religious people like
Mhm.
suffering for their like faith, they're always like, and I like bring my thing of
Mhm.
my God in like this city of
Mhm.
heathens, and they were like, oh,
Oh,
this
Yeah.
man bears the mark of the cross.
Well,
In
if
this
Folly gets
city of Rome.
martyred by this cult, then I think
Yeah.
that would be really fulfilling that alignment.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
So go ahead and take an XP for that, Folly. And then the other XP triggers are, did you learn something new and important about the world?
We learned a lot about the cult
Yes.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say you all take an XP for that. And then did you all overcome a notable monster or enemy?
We sure did.
Yeah.
Yep, I think everyone should take a point for that. I know not everyone like was a direct, component in defeating the Manticore, but I feel like everyone kind of like worked towards it in some fashion. And then did you all interact meaningfully with an NPC?
Yeah, that one dude
Mhm.
at the beginning was smitten with us.
Beldrin fucking loves Betty.
I was so excited. I've been editing all these goddamn past episodes, and I just have to watch Betty be like, "Hey, how's it going? You having a good day?" And everybody's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, like hold on, you're being too energetic right now. I need you to like
Man.
bring it down a notch,
It's like
please.
it's like somebody from like the Midwest going to New York and being like, "How's it going?" And they'll be like, "Hey, don't talk to
Ooh,
me."
yeah, like
I got
oh, that
stuff
is.
Uh,
Who are you? I don't even know you. Get out of here.
yeah.
Um,
And you know that Belgian guy, he's like so sick and tired of all these like travelers coming in and just being like tired. They just want to, crash somewhere. They don't want to take the tour of the town. And here's Betty. She's excited to learn.
yeah, and I mean, Betty was obviously like the voice of the group, but I feel like in the background we did see like Folly and Harvey like putting on like a facade of interest, as they were taken around this town.
As best as Harvey can.
I know. Again, Harvey's fucking decked out in this armor. It's very hard to read Harvey's excitement. But then also, Danni got to see her parents for the first time in a while, and I feel like that interaction was pretty meaningful. And so
I feel like when you're with your parents and you have like a bad relationship, like every line that everybody says is fraught with history and meaning. You know what I mean?
yeah.
When Devon said your dad says we raised you better than that, and it's weird to hear that, I was like, that literally happened to me in real life.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
God.
It does. It fucking sucks.
Win, babe. Babe, win.
Yeah, like
Since when did you raise me any kind of way?
it's bad. Cool. So that's everyone's XP triggers. And now we're gonna go into our inspiration triggers. We'll go with Workhorse first today. Who was our workhorse this session?
I feel like
Harvey.
Danny was
Yeah.
moving things forward a lot.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Danny's got my vote.
Hell yeah.
Wow. This is
Danny?
my favorite award to get.
Dan, take the point of inspiration for Workhorse. And then we have who was our role player for this session.
I think that was Betty.
Betty, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were dripping in Betty roleplay tonight.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the first half of our session was all roleplay, and you all, if I could give it to every one of you, you all were fucking fantastic on role playing today. But we'll give it to Betty for the point. And then our last point is fuck it, that was cool.
It's Harvey.
Harvey. Yeah, that's definitely Harvey.
Yeah, how could it not be Harvey, right?
Yeah.
Do y'all know what a meteor hammer is?
No.
Yes.
That's what I imagine. It's if you've ever seen Kill Bill, there's like that girl who has like the chain, and it has like a little flail on the end, and she's like,
Mhm.
and that's how
Oh.
that's how I imagine Harvey fighting, especially when he's like,
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Harvey definitely uses his flail a lot like a meteor chain or a meteor hammer.
Damn, that's so cool.
Yes.
Awesome. Great session, everyone.
yeah.
Thanks everyone again for joining me for another session of Illiterate Wenches, and I'll see everyone next week.
All right.
All right.
Yay.
Yeah.
Bye.